Hey, my name is Makai Green, and this is the Simple Idea Podcast. If you're new here, this is a podcast about personal development and just different learning experiences. And the topic for today's episode is getting out of your comfort zone. So, in this episode, I'll just talk about some of the ways that I'm managing to get out of my own comfort zone, some of the ways that I've gone about succeeding in that regard, failing, just the overall premise behind what I have going on in terms of getting out of my own comfort zone and just living life a little more than I already am. So, like I normally do, I'm just going to hop right into this and just give you guys the organic experience. So, where are we going to start here? Yeah, all right. So, I'm scared to live, and that's kind of like the first point I want to make here. I guess you could say as soon as I hit the age to kind of just go out and do my own thing like most people do, like in your mid to late teens, I guess. I've never really lived a life, and I guess I was scared. I'm a pretty analytical person, so I usually go into most things, overthinking, and sometimes it's good because it's kept me out of trouble. It's kept me in a good place. I got a pretty good head on my shoulders, but I think I let my ability to analyze things pretty well and be very observant kind of get in the way of just kind of letting loose and just actually enjoying life and going with the flow. So, yeah, I'm scared to live, and I noticed that about maybe 5 to 6 months ago, And ever since then, I've been making little steps to kind of reverse what I'm doing at the moment, or what I was doing at that moment in time. And so far, it's going pretty well, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So, for example, I've barely traveled out of the East Coast of the United States. And I think I had this mindset where, oh, I'm still in school. I can't go travel by myself. I can't do this and that. I don't have a real job. This, like a bunch of just stuff that I would make excuses for myself and say, hey, because I don't have a real job, because I'm still living with my parents, I just have to go to school, finish school, get out, and then I can do what I want to do. But I have this freedom now. Why am I stopping myself from traveling with myself if I wanted to, just by myself? Why am I stopping myself from taking a friend like, hey, let's go to the Bahamas like 2 days, just save up like a ton of money and just go. Like I don't have that sense of just, not that it's impulsive, but I don't have this ability, or I didn't have the ability to just throw myself out somewhere and just adapt to what I need to be doing. And because of that, I don't have any travel experience. I don't have a bunch of just random experiences. I've never been to a concert. All these crazy, small, insignificant things that most people have experienced at this point in time in their lives around this age, I have not completed any of those. Like, that is not checked off of my bucket list. So why is that? And it kind of just brings me back to the idea of me being scared to live, which the more I think about it, it really upsets me. And a lot of it is I would say I could blame myself for it, but I think there are other factors as well. But for the majority of why I'm scared to live, it's definitely my own fault, because I put this limitation on myself saying that, oh, I can't travel. And because I can't travel, I'm just going to sit here and just finish out school and, go to work, go to school. And after a while, that cycle gets really repetitive. It gets really boring. And there's nothing exciting about it. And you just sit there and time's passing you by and you're like, oh, I see all these people going to different countries and traveling with their friends and whatnot. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, why? Why am I not doing that? Like, if they're able to do it, how are they any different than me? And I kind of sat back and just really reflected on that. I'm like, no, seriously, how are they any different than me? They're traveling, they're meeting new people, they're trying different foods, they're experiencing different cultures. Yet I'm still sitting here on a Saturday afternoon, coming back from work, sitting on my computer, doing nothing. Maybe I might be doing schoolwork, I might be playing a video game, but in the long term, playing a video game isn't going to make me an amazing memory or give me the ability to tell a crazy, amazing story. And it kind of hurts me that I let myself get to this point where I don't have any real memorable experiences that I've gone out on my own to create. And I just sit here and ask why. And like I said, it just comes down to me limiting myself. And I think about all these things that I want to do. Or I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool to travel over here. Oh, it'd be really cool to go rent out a car and just drive down this highway. It'd be really cool to do X, Y, and Z. But I don't act on it. And it's because there's some like sense of fear there, of like the unknown of what could happen if I do that. And more specifically, if I do that by myself. So in a sense, I'm kind of immobilized, and I'm just I'm sitting here watching time pass me by and I'm not doing anything about it. And like I said, this was about 5 or 6 months ago that I realized this. And since then, I've been doing everything in my power to, like I said, reverse that trend that I had going on, because it's a trend that doesn't feel good. It's not a healthy trend. It's not something that you want to, wake up every day and feel and experience. So I'm at that point where I'm recognizing that I was scared to live and that I'm not doing anything about it. And like I said, largely most of this is to blame, or the blame is to be put on me, because at the end of the day, you control your outcome. You control what you do with your life for the most part. So if I have control of my life, if I have control over my decisions, my actions, it's my fault that I'm not experiencing anything. It's my fault because I'm getting in my own head. I'm getting in my own way. I'm overthinking. So it really just came down to my mindset towards just life in general. Just I should be able to travel. I should be able to go do these awesome, adventurous things that I'm not doing now. And I'm not, because I'm choosing not to. And then on top of that, I would say that a large part of who you are as a person comes from your social setting and the people that you have around, the people that you keep around. And I might have been around the wrong people, during this time where I was kind of limiting myself. I don't think I surrounded myself with the right people to kind of push me to go out and adventure and to be a little more impulsive, to be a little less analytical. I was kind of a homebody, and home is cool and whatnot, but I don't love home enough to be there every second of the day. And I think by surrounding myself with certain people that I shouldn't have been around, should I say, it kind of just allowed me to sit back in my comfort zone and just be a homebody, not really do much. And because of that, I'm in this situation now. So, like I said, 5 or 6 months ago, I kind of recognized that I was scared to live. And even now, there's still a sense of uncertainty and maybe a little fear, but with each day, you work over that. But 5 or 6 months ago, I realized that, and around November-ish, I made the decision to get out of my comfort zone. I just sat there one day, and I'm like, all right, so you know what's wrong. What are you going to do about it? And I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm like, what are some things that I want to do? What are some things that I've always had on my mind? Like, oh, this would be really cool to do, but I never did it. And just because I got in my own way. And that's what it came down to. But in November, I made the decision. And I said, you know what? It was a random Friday. I had off from everything. No work, no school. Just a day of personal peace. Which, Fridays are the day of personal peace. Gotta love those days. But I made the decision. I had a little extra money saved up. And I was doing nothing. I'm like, you know what? The first step, I'm just going to get a tattoo, because I've always thought about getting a tattoo for the past 5 or 6 years. Since I was like 15, 16 years old, I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool to get a tattoo. It'd be really cool to get a tattoo. And for the past 5 or 6 years, I thought about it, and I've done absolutely nothing about it. And there was nothing stopping me except for myself. I'm like, oh, I can't get a tattoo. I just can't do it. And I didn't have a real reason to not get one. The fact that I put years and years of thought into what I wanted, and I never acted on it, just kind of bothers me. So I made the decision, just get it. I always thought about it, but I was scared. But no, I have to go do it. Stop making excuses. You don't put up some false fence or limitation as to why you can't do it. Just do it. So that's what I did. And for me, it was an important first step in reclaiming what I'll call my natural self. I think naturally we all have like these urges or these desires or these things that we have in our head that we want to go out and attack and we want to do. And it's something that the idea of getting a tattoo was a part of me, but I'm living like this false sense of truth when I tell myself I can't get a tattoo. Well, if my real self is thinking about a tattoo for 5 or 6 years, I personally want a tattoo. So why am I not getting a tattoo? It's not going to kill me. It's not going to be the end of the world if I get one. People aren't going to hate me. People aren't going to love me any more or less. Like, it's going to be the same. The only thing that's going to be different is that I'm going to have something that I thought about, something that I've desired, and I went out and I got it. So I stopped making excuses. I did it. It went well. I got a tattoo, and it was my first step in actually getting out of my comfort zone. So the fact that I had that thought for 5 to 6 years and didn't act on it for that long, and I mean, granted, most kids might not get a tattoo at 15 and 16 years old, but when I become of age, when I'm able to make that decision for myself, I still didn't make it, which is just problematic to me. It doesn't make any sense. But ever since I got that first tattoo, I'm like, all right, this was that first step, like I said, to reclaiming my natural self. I need to make a promise to myself to be more spontaneous. I need to live in the moment. And from that point on, I'm attempting to do just that. And as corny as it sounds, you really only do get one life, and I'm letting this life just pass me by, and I notice it, and I'm not doing things that I think about. Like, I have so many different thoughts and ideas and just creative visions and just things that I have going on in my head, and I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool to do, and I just never do it. I sit there and I let time pass me by. I just let it go away. I waste it, and I acknowledge it. And each year, it's just another year further away from that goal. The longer you just stay away from it, it doesn't make any sense for you to not go attack these things that you think about, as long as you do it responsibly and it's not just impulsive to the point where it's going to hurt you. Because for me personally, most of these things aren't just impulsive decisions that are going to hurt me in the long run. I think these things through, and then I think about it a lot, and I just don't act on it, and that's my issue. But yeah, as corny as it sounds, you only live once, and I don't want to end my life with a list full of regrets because I was scared to live. And I was scared to get out of my comfort zone. I was scared to try different and new things, which is something that I'm pushing myself to do because I don't want to live with regrets, as corny as it sounds. So after I made that decision to be more spontaneous, I've been basically just burning these words into my mind, and it's just, don't think, just do. And that just comes with the territory of challenging myself to not be as analytical, to just be, not that to be less observant, but to just kind of like take a step back and say, hey, whatever you're thinking about doing, the negative outcome of whatever could come from it is most likely not going to kill you. It's not going to ruin your life. It's not going to do X, Y, and Z. So if that's not the case, stop thinking about it and just do it. Don't think, just do. And those words are just plastered all around me at all times. I write it down. I keep it in my head. And it just challenges me to stop being as analytical, to stop being as observant, because I'm somebody who triple and quadruple thinks everything that I do. Even if it's like, oh, am I going to go talk to that person over there? Well, if I talk to them, they might not want me to talk to them, so I'm just not going to talk to them. But maybe they will. But maybe they won't. And I just get into this cycle and this whole thing in my head where I'm like, okay, dude, you're just overthinking it. Calm down. It's not that deep. Just go with the flow. And that's just, don't think, just do. That's what that means to me. And of course, I'm going to think responsibly, and I'm not going to overdo it. Being somebody that thinks a lot about the decisions they make before they do it, I'm not a very impulsive person, as you can tell. And I am challenging myself to be more impulsive, but impulsive to a responsible degree, I would say. So right now, I'm in this process of letting go of my analytical self and just reclaiming like a free-flowing self that kind of goes with whatever is thrown at me. And with that, I'm attempting to be an easier person, just a person that has more fun, a person that doesn't think as much, that doesn't stress myself out over things that I probably shouldn't be stressing myself out over. And this is just to throw this in here, because I did mention getting the tattoo back in November, but following that tattoo, literally a month later, I got another one. And I'm not going to go on this random spree of just getting random tattoos and whatnot, because everything that I've gotten so far, which is just two, there's been purpose behind it. And they were impulsive, but they were responsible impulsive, because I made decisions after thinking them through. And the only difference is that instead of thinking about it and not acting, I thought about it, made sure it was the right decision, then I acted. I didn't stop myself and say, hey, oh, I want a tattoo, but I already have one and I probably shouldn't get another one. No, it's a tattoo. Nothing's going to happen. Just calm down. Just do it. You're not going to die. Everything's going to be fine. So it's this little, I don't want to call it a cycle, but it's more so like baby steps to a bigger goal. And that bigger goal is just reclaiming being comfortable within my own skin. So I'm going to talk about travel, because traveling is something that I really do want to do in the near future, and stuff that I'm actually planning out now since I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone. So I don't want to say that traveling alone is off-putting to me or it scares me, but there's something about traveling by myself that I just never thought was possible, or something that just didn't make sense to do. Because when you travel, you typically travel with somebody else, or at least that's in my experience. That's what I've experienced with family and whatnot. But whenever I've traveled anywhere, I've always been with somebody. And I'm an adult now. I'm 21 years old. I pay taxes. I have a job. I have to worry about loans, credit card bills, all these other things that, makes me an adult, that makes me somebody of responsibility. And I still have the mindset that I'm not able to travel alone by myself. And I think it's because I'm scared to do it. I'm scared of, like I said before earlier, uncertainty behind what happens behind traveling by myself, or just some like stuff of that nature. Like, why am I scared to go travel to a city? Like, I live 25 minutes away from Philadelphia. It's maybe a 20-minute bus ride from where I'm at to Philadelphia. And the fact that I've only been to Philadelphia twice within the past year is mind-boggling, and it's 20 minutes away. And I always have this thought process, and I'm like, hey, it'd be really cool to go to Philly today. Let me just head over there. And then I'm like, that's cool, but I don't think I should do it. And then I just don't. And the best part is, both times that I have gone to Philly, it's been with some other person. I haven't just gone by myself. Like, it's such an easy bus or train ride over there, for me to just buy a ticket, round trip, $6, dirt cheap. But it'd be so stupidly easy for me to go about doing that. And I've had the thoughts so many times, and I just haven't acted on it. And like I said before, that is so problematic to me. I'm a 21-year-old black male living 20 minutes from the city. I pay bills. I have car insurance. I have real world responsibilities. I'm an adult in the eyes of the public. And I sit here and I overthink about going to the city that is 20 minutes away from me, where chances are nothing's going to happen if I go to the city. I'm just going to go there, I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to come back. And I think another thing that kind of gets in my head is maybe traveling to places that I'm not too familiar with, and that's why it's kind of off-putting or scary to me. Because if I don't know a place too well, then maybe I'm trying to justify my own thinking here, but if I don't know a place too well, I'm scared to go, because like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go if I get lost? Who do I talk to? I don't have anybody around me. And I guess those are logical fears and thoughts to have, but not to the point where I had those thoughts sit in my head for years and I don't act on it, and I just let time pass me by. Like, I'll never know what could come from that situation if I don't throw myself out there and just adapt and try to experience whatever it is that I'm scared to experience. So yeah, travel, it's something that I'm definitely getting into now. And just last week I actually went to Philadelphia with my roommate, and it was really easy. I kind of overthought it. I'm like, okay, if I'm scared to go by myself, or not scared, but like just hesitant to go by myself, I'll bring a friend with me, because if I get lost, at least we're lost together. And that could work, because, it's better to be lost with somebody else than by yourself, because then you don't have a lifeline, I guess. So I went with him last week. It went smoothly. We just bought tickets, got on the train, got off the train, did our thing in Philadelphia, and then we left. And I'm thinking, okay, that was extremely easy. I've done this with my dad and my brother and other family members before. I did it with my friend. I can do this by myself. And maybe it's baby steps, which is fine, but it's better than not doing anything at all. So right now, I'm looking to just throw myself into different environments, and just different and new environments that I've never been in, just to challenge myself, just to get out of my comfort zone. Even if I don't know what could happen if I go there, even if I'm uncertain, I'm still going to do it anyway, because I need a way out of my comfort zone. I don't want to be comfortable. I don't want to live a life where I'm like, okay, I'm content with what I have, and I think about this and that, but I don't act on it. I don't want to live that life anymore. And I don't know if I'm getting too, what's the word? Like, kind of, not in my feelings, but if I'm like being too, and I don't think emotional is the right word, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be like that, but this is my lived experience, and I'm giving you like my failures here, and I'm putting it on full display so that I can hopefully better myself from it. But yeah, let me just get back to travel. Kind of going off on a little tangent here, but yeah, I'm just making it a goal of mine to adventure more and to be more impulsive, to not think about what I'm doing, just do it. If I had the thought, I'm gonna think that through and be all right, yeah, just do it, just go. oh, you want to go to California and you have $1,000 in your account, which by the way I don't have $1,000 in my account. But for example, you want to go to California? All right, say less. Just if you have the money, if it makes sense, if you want to go, just do it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it responsibly. It's going to be a responsible impulse decision most of the time. Excuse me. But yeah, just Philadelphia, it's 20 minutes away. It doesn't make any sense for me to not be going there all the time, especially if I want to go there all the time. And after this whole travel situation that I had going on, I actually made a promise to myself. I told myself, hey, you're going to go to at least 2 or 3 random places this year just on impulse. And if you have the finances to make it happen, you're going to go. You're not going to overthink. You're not going to make excuses. You're just going to go. So this January 2019, this episode's in 2019. But yeah, in like mid to end of January-ish, I told myself, hey, I'm just going to go to Pittsburgh. I don't know what the hell is in Pittsburgh. I hear it's a nice, clean city. I've been asking people about it. But I told myself, hey, that's a major city. It's only like a 5 or 6 hour drive from me. It's like, just go to Pittsburgh. Just do it. Like, I've never been there. I don't know anything about it. I don't know where to stay. I don't know the attractions. I should probably look into a hotel because right now I just trying to save up money and I haven't done a ton of research. But I'm just being impulsive about it because I thought about it. I want to do it. I'm just going to do it. And it's like a liberating feeling once you do get that ability to just say, hey, screw it. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do it. Because then it starts to build up and you start to build more confidence towards getting out of your comfort zone. Because if you would have asked me a year ago, hey, you want to go drive to Pittsburgh? It's a 5 or 6 hour drive and we have no idea what we're doing. I would say that sounds like a terrible idea. Let's not do that at all. But I'm glad that I'm kind of evolving into this person that's like, we're going to Pittsburgh and we have no idea what we're doing. That'll be a great memory. Let's do it. And like I said, it's not to the point where I'm being irresponsible about it. The worst that could happen if I go to Pittsburgh by myself is maybe my car breaks down, right? Or maybe I get lost and I have no idea where I'm at. Or maybe some people scam me out of my money, and the chances of that happening are pretty slim. But I'm thinking worst case scenario. And in all those scenarios, I'm still alive and breathing. And at the end of the day, I might have a story to tell. So the worst that could come from me going to Pittsburgh is not a whole lot, and not a lot to the point where it's going to affect me for the rest of my life. So what am I doing? I'm going to Pittsburgh. And it's just the start. And this whole travel thing, once I started going to Philadelphia a little more, and I'm going tomorrow, actually. But last week I went going tomorrow. Probably a few more times within the next few weeks. Pittsburgh, hopefully before the end of the month. I'm like, all right, I'm going to all these different places. I'm just throwing myself out there. Let's do something even crazier. So right now, what I'm attempting to do is save up enough money to travel abroad over the summer. Because for the past 2 years of my college career, I've been like thinking to myself, hey, it'd be cool to travel abroad. And I never acted on it. And that's entirely my fault. It's my life. It's my decision. If I want to have a memory to make, I have to make it. But, I never acted on it. And here I am now, a junior going into my senior year, God willing. And I haven't traveled abroad, but I thought about it. So, hey, go travel abroad. Go to London. We're going to London during the summer, hopefully. So, I'm just throwing myself out there. I'm just doing it, putting myself in different environments that I've never been in before, trying to learn new and different things, getting out of my comfort zone, just trying to just live my life and not put too much thought, and not be too analytical or as analytical as I already am. But yeah, just this whole thing is just getting my feet wet, and I'm doing it one baby step at a time, to the point where I hope I'm able to take bigger and more spontaneous trips over time. Like, yeah, Philadelphia, it's 20 minutes from me. I'm starting to go there more. Eventually, I'll start going by myself. Pittsburgh, I'm going with a friend, but hey, who's to say that I don't just drive to Charlotte one day just because by myself, assuming it makes sense to do. So, yeah, it's just getting my feet wet and just getting out of my comfort zone, doing things that I want to do because I thought about it and not putting a limitation on myself because I overthought about it. And I do want to wrap up this episode pretty soon, so I'm just going to throw out some inspirations behind this episode and behind this whole like mindset revolution that I have going on right now. And I honestly owe a huge thanks to my parents, because I started telling them about what I have going on mindset wise and some of the different things that I've been trying to do and things that I want to do, and they've been overly supportive to the point where they're just telling me to go live my life. Like, I'm at an age where I need to experience the things that I want to experience, and they're encouraging me to do that. So I'm forever grateful and thankful for them. Um, I owe them the world, and unfortunately, I can't give them the world. But if I could, I definitely would. My parents have just been my biggest and greatest supporters through everything, and at the end of the day, they make sure that I'm taken care of, and I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm living, and they've just done an amazing job altogether. So shout out to my parents. I love you guys. Um, and during Christmas, because all this travel talk the past few months, I've been talking to my dad about it a lot. And for Christmas, he actually got me a $150 Delta gift card, which I can put towards, a flight to one of these spontaneous trips that I'm making. And maybe 3 or 4 years ago during Christmas, when I was, like a teenager, I'd be like, hey, I want a new PS4 game and I want this and that. But this is easily the best gift that I've ever received, from my dad at least, at all, because it's money, it's some form of currency, and it's I mean, money isn't important, but it's honestly the thought behind it it's massive to me, because it's something that I'm going through. I'm trying to travel more, and he hands me this thing that's going to allow me to travel more, and I'm thankful for that. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to give me anything at all, but he recognized through our conversations something that I've needed to help push me on in life, and he met me there. He said, "Hey, here's this gift card. Here's this money to help, fund your adventures." And granted, it's only $150. It might not pay for a full ticket, but it's enough to get me started. It's that little nudge in the back saying, "Hey, go out there, go do what you got to do." So it's a helping hand, and I'm sincerely appreciative of it, because he didn't have to. And like I said, it's a really meaningful gift, because it just shows that my parents pay attention to some of the things that I'm saying, and they have my best interest in mind, which I really do appreciate. But yeah, they've just been encouraging me to throw myself out there more, to adapt, and to just live life and not be as analytical. And I'm very, very, very thankful for that. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. And just my entire support system. You always have my back, and I appreciate it. But yeah, we're closing in on that 30-minute mark, and I don't like to go past that. But yeah, if you guys are going through something similar, definitely feel free to reach out to me. As of now, I only have Instagram, but shoot me a DM, comment on any of my posts. I'm definitely down to talk about it, because it's something I'm going through. And if you're struggling with something like that, any words of encouragement are definitely needed. And I'm always free game to talk. So reach out to me. I'm there. And honestly, the goal is just to have these experiences help me learn and grow, and just be a better, more well-rounded person at the end of the day. So by throwing myself out there and getting out of my comfort zone, that's only going to allow me to just live more freely, and to just be a person that I envision myself being, which is what I'm shooting for. But yeah, closing in on that 30-minute mark. So I just want to thank you guys for listening. I do upload new episodes Yeah, I'm reading off my script right now. Hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah. I do over here, getting my tongue twisted. I do upload new episodes every Friday at 12 p.m. noon, and that's Eastern time, so just pay attention to that. And the podcast is available on all major platforms as of now. I'm still working on the application for Google Podcasts. I believe they have like a quarterly thing they have going on for applications. So once that's open, I'm going to apply for it, and hopefully it gets submitted and approved. But yeah, as of now, most major platforms, you'll be able to find the link in the description of this episode, depending on where you're watching. And my YouTube channel is actually live. I uploaded my first video, so if that sounds cool, definitely go check out my YouTube channel. It's actually my name, so Mekai Green, Mekhi, and then Green with an E at the end. And it's the same as my Instagram handle, except you just put my name first. And for my Instagram handle, it's @GreenMekai. I've probably been promoting that a decent amount as of the past 4 episodes. So yeah, definitely check it out. My first video is up. I kind of just talk about why I like reading books, and hopefully you guys, if you see it, give me some feedback. Let me know whether or not you enjoyed it. But that's all I have for you today. I'll be coming back with another episode next Friday, like I said, and I think you're going to like it. It's a good one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and peace out.